It's funny. Sometimes the biggest roadmaps for life, they're not hiding in some huge, dense book. They're right there in just a few simple lines of a poem. And today, we're going to look at exactly that. We're diving into the poem One Day and exploring how it's actually this beautiful, really easy to follow guide for what is, let's face it, one of the toughest journeys for a lot of us, the path to really, truly accepting yourself. Right from the get-go, the poem just lays it all out there. This is the promise, right? The big goal. That place so many of us are trying to get to. That future where we can finally look at ourselves with the same kindness, the same love we give out so easily to everyone else. It's like, here's the finish line. Here's what we're working towards. And that really is the big question, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to say, I want to love myself, but how do you actually do it? What are the steps? Well, that's what's so cool about this poem. It doesn't just point to the destination and say, good luck. No, it actually lays out a path. And it tells us that this journey, it's not some giant, impossible leap. It's a whole series of small, deliberate things we can do. So where do we even start? Well, you might think it begins with some deep, intense soul searching, like digging into your own psyche. But what's so interesting is that the poem says, nope, that's not it. It actually starts way simpler than that. It begins by just reconnecting with the world around you, with the simple act of being present. Okay, so the very first step is all about our sense of sight. And it's not just about, looking at stuff. It's about really seeing it. Taking something as simple as a snowflake and actually finding a little piece of yourself reflected back. It's this idea that if you can practice seeing something pure and perfect out in the world, maybe, just maybe, you can start to see it in yourself too. And this whole idea of being present, it just keeps going, moving through our senses. Next up is smell. And I love the way it's phrased here. Let it fully fill my lungs. See, that's not passive, right? That's not just something happening to you. It's a choice. It's you deciding to fully dive into one simple experience, to block out all the other noise and just be there with it. Okay, now here's where things start to get really interesting. The poem starts to shift, to turn these outside sensations into something internal. You're not just listening to the rain anymore. Suddenly, you're feeling it, like it's washing over your soul. It's basically teaching us how to build a bridge between what's happening out there and what's going on in here. And finally, we get to taste. And this is just a straight-up call for mindfulness. I mean, think about it. In our crazy rush lives, when do we ever really taste anything? When do we savor it? This is all about finding that little spark of joy, that moment of presence, in something you do every day, like drinking a cup of tea. Just enjoying it with no other distractions. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? The really crucial point here is that you don't find self-acceptance by shutting the world out. It's the opposite. You find it by first learning how to really be in the world, to be present, to use your senses. This is what gives you the foundation, the grounding you need for the next part of the journey, which is when we start to look inward. All right, so that grounding we just talked about, being present in the world, that was all preparation. It gets us ready for this really critical turning point. Because now the focus is about to pivot. We're finally turning our gaze inward. We're ready to look at ourselves, but, and this is key, we're looking with a totally new set of eyes, a new perspective we got from all that sensory practice. And this just lays out that shift perfectly. First, you're looking out, and you see yourself as part of this huge, incredible universe. You're literally running with the stars. It's so big and expansive. And then you turn that same gaze inward. You look in the mirror, and you recognize a beauty previously covert. And let's just hang on that word for a second. Covert. That means hidden. This beauty isn't something you just made up. It's not new. It was there the whole time, just waiting for you to finally be ready to see it. And this, right here, this is the climax of the whole journey in the poem. Everything we've done so far, learning to be present with our senses, learning this new way of seeing ourselves, it all comes together now. It all gets integrated. This is the moment where being present and recognizing your own worth, they finally merge into this incredible feeling of being whole, of acceptance. You can see how these last few actions just build on each other so perfectly. It starts with something so basic but so powerful, just breathing, inhaling and exhaling, fully feeling your own life force. And from that really physical, grounded place, that's where the inner peace comes from. And you have to listen to the words here. Happy with the person I've become. Did you catch that? The tense just shifted. It's not I will become anymore. It's I have become. Self-acceptance isn't some far-off goal now. It's happening right here in the present. And it's only from that place of peace that you can take the final step to true self-love. But hold on. After that incredible high point, you'd think the poem would be over, right? But it's not. It doesn't end there. There are two last, very quiet words that kind of reframe everything we've just been through. They give us one last, really powerful thing to think about. One day. That's how it ends. By just repeating its own title. And there's this beautiful double meaning to it. On the one hand, yeah, it's a promise for the future. It's that hope that keeps you going, you know? The light at the end of the tunnel, that someday you'll get there. But there's another way to look at it. One day could also just mean today. This one day. Every single day that we practice being present, every day we try to be a little bit kinder to ourselves, that is the one day. So the poem kind of leaves us with this amazing question to chew on. Is self-love some final destination, a finish line you cross? Or is it the journey itself, the hopeful path that we're already on, one day at a time?